Y'all know I got a little nephew? Yeah! Should have been a blowjob, 100%. I'm not shitting you. I think the best part of him ran down his mama's leg when she stood up to go pee. I really do. Let me tell y'all a little quick story. I wasn't even supposed to tell this night, but I'm going to tell it anyway. Little man comes over to my house during the summertime. He comes over because I put him to work. When I put him to work, he can buy whatever he wants to with that money. He called me up and said, Uncle Zach, I need some work. I said, I got some work for you, buddy. So he come over to the house. I didn't really have a whole bunch going on, but I got this old hunting truck I've been working on. I said, look here, if you want to come over, it's hot. I don't want to hear no damn complaining. I don't want to hear no damn complaining. He said, I ain't going to complain, I just need a little bit of money. I said, no problem, buddy. I tell you what you need money for? He said, I want to buy me a toy. I said, you come over and help me for about 4 hours. I'll bring you back home, and on the way to your house, we'll stop by Walmart and we'll get us one of them damn toys that you want. And then we'll go on to your house. I'm supposed to be at your house for supper tonight. He said, sounds great. I went and picked him up. He came over, he worked with me, great idea. Loved it, got the truck cranked, everything went great. Here's where I fucked up. I never set a budget on this toy, and I didn't realize that until we got to Walmart. Okay? And once we walked into Walmart, I was like, fuck, he knows I got money. So I worked up the courage, and I said, man, what kind of toy you gonna get? He didn't do me dirty. He looked at me and said, Uncle Zach, I'm finna get me one of them super soakers. It's hot outside. I said, you fucking right you are, kid. Come with me, I know where they're at. Y'all been to Walmart in the damn summertime. It's like a whole 40-foot aisle of nothing but super soakers, right? We went down there, and he's running up and down the aisle trying to pick him out one and shit, and I noticed what time it was, which his mama already don't like me and the feeling's mutual. She got me on a 3-strike system. I got 2 strikes indefinitely, and every time I get a 3rd strike, I'm not allowed to see little man for 6 weeks until I lose my strike. Being late for Sunday supper in the South is one of them deals that you don't do, that's a guaranteed strike. I noticed what time it was, and we hadn't left Walmart yet, and I don't want to be late. So I went over to him, I said, little man, you got to pick out a toy, buddy, what's wrong right here? He said, I can't decide between these two, Uncle Zach. This one's badass, but this one's got 2 pistols in it, me and my daddy can play together. I said, I'll tell you what, buddy, you worked hard today, and I don't want to get another strike. Why don't you go ahead and grab that badass one, I'm going to grab another one, I'll buy you and your daddy one of them badass ones. He said, okay. He grabbed that one, I'm looking for the other one. He said, what you doing? I said, I'm looking for the other one. He said, don't worry about it, I already had it down here. I was going to con you into buying 2 of them anyway, come on. And I was like, damn, it pissed me off. And I went up to go say something to him, but he was so damn excited and shaking and stuff. I was like, hell, it's a good thing, you know what I mean? Kids' happiness is rare these days, let's go ahead and just go with it. So we went up, hopped in the truck after we paid for him and everything, and he's sitting in the front seat and he's mumbling something over and over and over again while he's hugging these 2 water guns. And I finally heard what he said after about like 2 or 3 miles. He was looking out the window and he was hugging both the guns and he was saying, now we can defend ourselves. Now we can defend ourselves. Which pissed me off in a way, because now I feel like the bullshit that we're dealing with as adults has done made its way all the way down to our kids. But I also am man enough to understand that that's not a conversation that needs to come from Uncle Zach. That is a father-son conversation, and we'll get to that down the road. Right now, we got to make sure I don't get another strike. We pull up to his house, little son bitch is so excited to go show his daddy that water gun, he falls out of my truck. By the time I run around the back of the truck in order to go make sure that he's still alive, he's already bounced up and halfway to the house at a dead sprint dragging both of these damn water guns. So now I'm obligated to be right behind him at a dead-ass sprint to make sure that he does not fall down the stairs, because if he falls and breaks his neck, I'm just fucking leaving. I finally called up this little fat ass right at the top of the stairs. As he busted through the front door, I noticed that his daddy was sitting at the kitchen table and his mama was putting the finishing touches on Sunday supper. Well, he ran right over to his daddy and took one of them water guns and slammed it down in front of his daddy. Boom! Daddy, look what I got! His daddy took one look at it and said, damn, son, that's so much right there, badass. He said, Uncle Zach, get you that? He said, no, sir, I work for that. He didn't believe him, so he looked at me. He said, did he? And I said, he did, but can I have some water? Who the fuck put 15 steps coming up your house? He ignored my request, but he did slide that damn thing back to little man. And he said, I'm real proud of you, buddy. You're going to have fun with that. But little man slid that son of a bitch right back to him. He said, no, daddy, no, that one's yours. I got one, too. And y'all, my friend is one of the greatest fathers I've ever met before in my life. I watched the joy come over his face to know that his son bought something that him and his daddy could both play with that wasn't electronic. He wanted to go outside and play with his daddy. That meant a lot to him. Well, his dad got really excited. And his dad said, man, thank you, buddy. This this is the best gift I ever got. Let's see if Mama's done with supper. We'll hurry up and eat, and we'll go outside and play before it gets dark outside. But little man cut his daddy off. He said, no, Daddy, no. No play. Now we can protect ourselves. Well, his daddy looked at him with the same fucking confused face that I had in the truck. But just like I knew that he would, his daddy went further into it because he's a great father. He said, boy, why you acting brand new? Huh? You been through the hunter safety course. You know what a real damn gun is. You got 3 8-point bucks on the living room wall right now. If you're going to keep on playing damn make-believe, I'm going to quit treating you like my little man. I'm going to start treating your ass like a baby again. But little man cut his father off one more time. For the final time. He said, no, Daddy, no, that ain't what I'm talking about. I heard you on the phone a couple hours ago when y'all was over at Uncle Zach's, and you kept on saying over and over and over again how you absolutely hate it when Mama squirts on you. Now you squirt her back. When he said that, his mama turned around and looked at me. Like I said some off-the-wall shit. And I looked at her, and I said, strike 3? She said, you're out. I said, okay, I'm going to Taco Bell. I ain't seen him in 6 weeks.